Let's go to North Manchester, Indiana. Lucy joins us there. Lucy, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hi, Ken. How are you?
I am living the dream, Lucy. What's up?
So my question is, how do I find my sweet spot, even though I'm still in high school?
Oh, I love this. What grade are you in, Lucy?
9th grade.
9th grade. My goodness, you're way ahead of the game. I'm so fired up right now. All right. So let me teach you the process, okay? There's a 3-part process, really, of self-discovery. So it's really about, I'm gonna look inward for some clues. Now, admittedly, Lucy, in the 9th grade, you have less experience than somebody who's 29, okay? But this is still a process that you can get started with, okay? So what I'm going to do quickly is teach you the 3 areas, the indicators, I like to call them, and then I'm going to go through it with you, and we'll see what clues we can dig. Does that sound good?
Okay.
All right. Now, quick question. Have you ever listened to my show before?
Yes, I actually started listening yesterday.
Oh boy. Okay. So you've not heard me do this, so this is very exciting. So here we go. The first thing we look at is your talent, what you do best. So Lucy, when you were born, not that many years ago, you have and had some natural talents, things that you just do well. And people have noticed that. They've told you, Lucy, you've always been good at this. And you've noticed these talents because you have seen at some point in your life other kids struggle with something that is really easy for you. So we're going to look at what you do best, talent, okay? And this could be in a school subject. This could be in some extracurricular activity, whether it be sports or something artistic. So it could be athletic or artistic. It could also be a real emotional strength where you emotionally connect well with others. So giving you some clues here as we go through this. So that's talent, what you do best. Now, Lucy, what you will do is to find your sweet spot, you begin with, the things I do best. Those are tools that I'm going to use to do work that I really love. Now, the same clues that we look for in talent, what you do best, we're looking for answers to the type of work that you will love to do, because as a human, Lucy, the way we're wired, we like to do things we're good at, right? We don't like to do things that we suck at, right? That's not fun for anybody, okay? So we're going to look for ideas of, well, I've always liked this activity, or this subject matter is something that I'm really interested in, okay? And then that leads us to mission, okay? So we got talent, passion, and then mission. Mission is the results that you want to create in your life through your work. All work creates a result. And so we're going to look for, okay, if I like doing this kind of work, what are the results of that work? Or what are the different types of results? And of the results of that work, that's what I'm most interested in. So then it ends up, the sweet spot is when you see the intersection of what you do best, what you love to do most from a work standpoint, and then the results of that work that matter. So it is, I use what I do best to do what the work I love to do to produce results that matter to me. Do you understand that formula?
Yes.
All right, fantastic. So what do you know about yourself at the tender age of, I'm guessing what, 14, 15?
14, yes.
14. Okay, I've got a 9th grader at home, Lucy, so I'm excited about this. What do you do best? What would you say that other people in your life would tell me if I interviewed them and said, tell me what Lucy does better than anything else?
I'd say talking to people like on a one-on-one conversation.
Oh, I love that. I'm going to call that connecting. Would you agree with that? You're a really good connector.
Yes.
Okay, I love it. And we would also say that you've got a talent of communication, correct?
Yes.
Because you got to talk well, you got to be clear, but then there's something about your spirit and your personality that makes people feel at ease with you. Is that true?
Yes.
Okay, great. So I wrote down the talent of connecting, the talent of communication. What else would you say is at the top of your list? Anything else? It's okay. Go ahead.
I like drawing a lot.
Okay. Are you good at drawing? Because right now I want to focus on things that you're really good at. Are you really talented artistically?
I would say so, yeah.
Do other people say that as well?
Yes.
Who says that?
My librarian.
Oh, very nice. Okay, and is this hand drawing or is it design on a computer? More of a graphical? Is it both?
Hand drawing.
Hand drawing. Okay. And anything else on your list that you go, Ken, of all the things I do well, these are the things that I do the best. Anything else?
Not that I can think of.
Okay, great. That's fine. All right, now we're going to move over to passion. Now, again, for everybody watching and listening right now, Lucy doesn't have a lot of work history to draw from. So what we're trying to do is just get activities and things of interest for her. All right, so what are the things that you're most interested in? If you're not outside of school, we'll go to school in a second, but outside of the classroom, what are the things you like to read about, the things that interest you about the world, the things you like to talk about, or some things you like to do? If it's your free time and you get to do whatever you want, give me some answers in those categories.
I would be in my room practicing watercolors.
All right. That's consistent because you're artistic, you're talented. And so you would be doing what type of things with watercolors? What would the scenes be? What would be on the canvas?
Little doodles of people.
And tell me something else, that another topic, an area of interest in your life you really get excited about. When you think about it, your emotions are really, really high. And then when you're in the middle of it and doing it, you don't want to stop. Give me something else.
Writing.
Uh-oh. Now we're getting somewhere. I like this. I'm seeing something. What are the things you like to write about?
Fantasy.
Oh, my
elves
goodness.
and gnomes and
Yes,
that type of thing.
I love it. I love it. Okay. I got enough information. Now this is the most fun part, Lucy. I know you're only 14, but as of today, and this may change an hour from now, and I'm okay with that. So let your heart answer this question. What would you do right now if I gave you a dream, just in your mind, a dream job based on what we know you do well, and we're seeing a creative theme here? What would you do? What do you think would be the most fun thing to try right now? What would you do?
Be a fantasy writer.
Why?
Because I like thinking up things that aren't real.
Yeah. And so you write these fantasy stories, and tell me, let's fast forward 10 years from now. You're a very successful fantasy writer. Maybe you're even doing some of your own illustrations, because I think you're good at that too. And someone is reading your book. Describe that someone. Who's that perfect reader for you? Is it a young person? Is it adults? Is it people of all ages?
It's a young preteen who's starry-eyed and likes to daydream.
And what do you want them to experience as a result of this book? When they're done with the book, and let's say they wrote you a fan letter, what would you want to see in that letter as a result of reading your work?
That I've given them some terrific idea to do something great.
Wow. I think we may have discovered your sweet spot, kiddo. Now, here's the deal. As you get older, some of the specifics of the mission there might change. But let's go back to what we just discussed and say, is this in Lucy's sweet spot? Well, what does Lucy does? What does she do best? Well, you're really gifted at communicating. The verbal skills is what makes you a good writer. And you're good at connecting with people one-on-one, which when you combine your ability to connect with humans one-on-one with your verbal skills of writing, it's what makes you a great writer that connects with the reader. Do you see that?
Yes.
Oh, it's fun. And you're very artistic. The watercolors, the fantasy, the super imagination. One of the things you didn't tell me that I think is off the charts for you, tell me if I'm right, is you have high levels of imagination.
Yes.
Oh, that's a strength. That's a talent, kiddo. You hear me?
Yes.
People get paid ridiculous amounts of money by Disney and Netflix and Amazon Prime and anybody else to be imaginative, okay? So this absolutely lines up with what you do best. And it's what you love to do. You love to paint watercolors. You love to write. And the result of all of that creativity is to inspire others to be creative, to entertain them just for a moment, maybe to allow them to escape and then dream. So kiddo, I think that's your sweet spot. I think as you get older, it's just staying consistent and focused on. When I was a ninth grader, I called this dude named Ken. And at my purest moment of life, which I really think this age is where life hasn't hit you really hard yet. And you're fully dreaming. And I think this is it. I think you use your creative skills to tell stories, to inspire others. I think that's your purpose statement. That's your sweet spot. How's that sound?
That sounds great.
I'm proud of you, kiddo. I got to ask, how in the world did you discover my show yesterday and decide to call me today? I need to know this.
So my mom has been a listener of the Dave Ramsey show, and I went on to his website, and I'm like, hey, Ken Coleman, he sounds great. And I went to your website.
That's
so I went
funny.
to your website and saw that you helped people find their sweet spot. And I'm like, I want to know how.
That is so amazing. My goodness gracious. Lucy, you have inspired me. You just got me all fired up, kiddo. I'm so proud of you. I want you to stay in touch. Madison, let's stay in touch with Lucy. And Lucy, if you're cool with this, as you begin to progress, I'd love for you to check in with us from time to time, whenever you want to. There's no pressure, but I would love to follow your journey as you begin to share stories and things of that nature. I'd love to stay in touch with you because I think that the world needs to know that there are ninth graders that are dreaming big. And wow, I literally am covered, Joe, in goosebumps.